watch Diamond Vision Entertainment Network.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner, our revered and eminent traditional rulers here present, the Mayegun of Yoruba land. I call him Mayegun of the world, of the universe. Alhaji King Wasiu Olasukomi Ayinde Gwangwan. Baba Chief Adisa CFA. Alhaji Kolinti Ayila. Baba Wali Kwara. Otuba Adebayo Olasoju, Chairman, Solo Local Government Development Authority. President, Fiji Musician Association of Nigeria, Fuman, and the entire members. Fuji Opera Temple, the entire family. Sikiru, Ayinde, Barrister, MFR. Our highly respected fathers and mothers here present, distinguished members of the audience here present, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I say good afternoon and welcome to today's colloquium. With all sense of humility and respect, I need to thank the organizers for the invitation extended to me to be a part of this historic and important event. I'm excited standing in front of this audience, particularly our Fuji minstrels, who are great music ambassadors that we are proud of. For the honor and privilege. Today's presentation reminds me of the earlier part of my life when we were to listen to sonorous voice of Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister as he releases new albums with deep Yoruba language tinted with riddles, metaphors, innuendos, lyrics that are direct or indirect and filled with great entertaining vibes. The privilege of attending numerous occasions like today's and others, where not only the singing prayers of Alhaji Agba was only, but his adroit leg and body. As a matter of fact, his and that of King Ojuade are incomparable back then. All these reshaped my thinking and knowledge of music and dance as practice and profession, and clearly showed that it takes a committed soul to pitch tent in our creative world, which is an aspect of human existence. Unlike language that has syntax and semantics vary from one country and culture to culture, music has been said to be a universal language, as what seems to be a piece of good music in Angola and what seems to be a piece of bad music in Netherlands may remain bad music in Nigeria. The way Hallelujah Chorus by George Handel will sound in Taipei is the same way it will sound if played in Taraba, because sounds that are produced do not change much across cultures. So emotions and ideas can universally translated and understood. His Excellencies, invited guests, our music ambassadors here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, how I wished this presentation tagged Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Agbaje Lola Barrister's impactful musical exploits. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow was being done or showcased at an occasion celebrating the musical icon of our time, either through the joyful celebration of his life birthday, not posthumous, or a significant achievement while he was still alive. We shall then be able to understand better the veracity, complexity, and enormity of the work he has done around the world of Were has transformed to Fuji music genre. My presentation today further affirms that my youthful thought over 40 years ago, sitting consistently and patiently, listening to Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister's albums, has been released. His dexterity in his use of language, weaving of syllables in song, and blending same with admixture of instrumentations were extraordinary and amazing. Therefore, this session today, using the 6 C's, 2 P's, and a T construct perceived through the prism of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I quietly broken them down as follows. The first one is to look at his compositions and renditions, followed by creativity and innovation, to be followed by composure and his culture promotion and socialization quotient. Then we'll look at currency and relevance, followed by crusades, which will highlight his moral, social, religious, political, and economic crusades embedded in his lyrics. Then we look at philosophy, praxis, further exposed Fuji to the outside world. For a broader perspective and deep understanding of his travails and triumphs in the institutionalization of Fuji as a musical genre, let us take a peep into his bio. Mr. Fuji in proper context, content, and perspective. A peek into his bio. The late Are Dr. Sikiru Ololade Adeyinka Ayinde Balogun, MFR, MLC, AIMA, undoubtedly was the creator and garrison commander in chief of Fiji music. Title. He was born into the family of Agbaje Salami at Ayeye in Ibadan and Salawe family of Lagos Island on February 9, 1948 at Iga, Salawe, but grew up in Mushin. In an interview he granted Console Television as posted on YouTube on 04/12/2018, he narrated that his father was a popular musician in Ibadan while he was growing up in Lagos. He attended his elementary education at Mushin Mission School, Odiolo, Mushin, Lagos. He then proceeded to Yaba Polytechnic between 1961 and 1963. He became an Ajisari singer at tender age of 10 at Masawale area of Mushin. Sakara and Apala music were in vogue when he was growing up, particularly that of El Saka, Baba Olatuji Yusuf, and Aruna Ishola music career. Due to the religious and cultural factors, most of the either moved to genres like Apala, Sakara, or other professions. He was signed on at the age of 18 strictly as an Ajisari performer alongside Sunnyside, Idowu Animashaun, and Morufu Akande. It was at this point that Onsuru Akande. Okay. It was at this point that he was confronted with which name to call his own type of music, whether to call it Faji music. But he remembered that there was a mountain in Japan known as Mountain of Love, named after Fuji. He then decided to name his own after Fuji Mountain. Was released the same is in 1966 by the Niger Songs and African Song 2IC. He later joined the army in 1968 and fought at Onitsha. Wounded and sent back to resettlement center at Ojuade. He then retired from the army in 1974 to become a full-time. In 1976, after gaining wide acclaim with his sixth album, Ori Mi Ewo Ni Se O, he made Love and Interest. He was of the belief that anything worth doing well, and he excelled all through. His characterization, composition, and rendition. Dr. Sikiru talented. His voice modulation could be likened to that of hourglass drum, and switching to different forms based on the knowledge and expertise of the handler. He had mastery of Yoruba language, Arabic knowledge, and that of other tribes in Nigeria in particular. He knew when to express such in composition and renditions. He was a genius and not only a fantastic composer, but a great musician. His ability to modulate his voice to different pitches was peculiar to him. His recitation of verses from the Holy Quran guarantees a fan base he brought in from Ajiwere. Essentially, Alhaji Agba was on-the-spot composer who sang spontaneously and effortlessly, and one of his striking traits of character was his open adoration of his mother, himself, and his band boys. Silvery voice that he deemed fit for that moment, alongside his gripping style of eulogizing himself and his mother, magnetized. I completely agree with one of my academic sons, Olorun Shofatai Adisa, when he said, and I quote, "I particularly envied Sikiru Ayinde's genuine adoration of his mother, Aja Ode Sifao. Where others could be pedestrian or not totally with it, a submissive listener could feel the passion, the pain, and the joy of mommy's boy attempting to envelope his love in just a song." That was the man, Barrister. At any time, never he is an inexhaustive affection for his mother. For every time the late Mistro mentioned his mom's first name, Odere, in a song, his voice amazingly pitched differently with the support, extraordinary instruments that support it every time. Suffice to say that the love of a son for his mom is powerfully different, unexplainable, and incomparable. Eventually, the son is a star. The love becomes even enigmatic. Or is there any Odere anywhere else in this world that you may have known other than Ajia Sifao Odere? Odere? I greatly agree with his submission that Mama was all in all to Dr. Sikiru. a barrister. His creativity and innovation. He was a fantastic creator and had flair